What is up, folks? Briston Gaming back with another episode of 7 Days to Die Mods Weekly, the show where we help you figure out what mods are good for you. And this week, as you can see here, we have a short, simple, easy little week ahead of us. We're only going to cover 4 mods because later on this week, in a couple of days, I'm not exactly sure when, but I will have out a much longer video. It's going to be about an hour, hour and a half, covering a super cool mod that is another XML complete overhaul, which I think you guys are going to love. But before we jump into anything, I want to take a second to say thank you to everybody who has liked or subscribed on the content because it does help out. It does mean a lot. And also, thank you to the mod authors because you guys do great work. I love what you guys do, especially our first mod. And our first mod, as you guys can see, is called The Return of the Hornet by KGB. Now, I've played this game on console, I don't know how many hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours. I loved this game on console. I still play it on console with my wife. This is so fun. The game on console plays more like a horror than it does as normal survival game. It's a survival horror game, which fits thematically with the older alphas. At least I think it does. But as you see, they're flying off in the distance, and there's probably a few of them scattered around here. Our first mod is called Return of the Hornet by KGB, and it just brings it back. It brings the Hornet back from like Alpha 15 and 14. I think it got taken out in Alpha 16. And it only spawns, like when you have this mod lit installed, it only spawns out in the forest and stuff like that. It doesn't spawn on Horde Night. It's just, you'll see them as you're out and about. Now I've got everything frozen because I was out and about and I saw this and was like, oh, yep, perfect. And here it comes towards us. Maybe. There it goes. Boy, that thing makes a noise. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't do like they did on console where, the more you... Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, cool. I was testing this earlier and I never got any honey from it, so I was like, well, maybe it doesn't, but I guess it could be a random chance. And that was the thing that I loved about the console version is you get honey from it. That's, one of the easiest ways. It's a super simple, easy little mod. Yeah, there are other overhauls and stuff that do the same thing, but a lot of people like having that modlet version just because they can completely customize their gameplay. And that's what it's here for. But now with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next mod. Okay, folks, so our next mod is called the Return of the Behemoth, again by KGB, and this is super cool because like the Behemoth that we were promised in like Alpha 16 or 17, KGB brought it back. So the fun pips were like, yeah, you guys will have this, it'll be in the wasteland, make the wasteland even more dangerous because, having zombie bear there and a crap ton of zombie dogs or birds and stuff like that just isn't enough. You need more. Well, so KGB finished the mod, and I came up here and I went ahead and I froze the AI because check out what happens when I don't. This thing is scary as butt. Now, it will spawn on Horde Nights and stuff like that at higher game stages. And look at how much health that thing has. See how high it can reach to? That thing killed me in one hit. No problems. But it is kind of wonky, so unfortunately, because of, it was never really finished by the fun pimps, if you get super close to it, it might have a difficult time of hitting you. It's a cool mod that brings in something that we were promised but was never delivered. That's why I like it. That's why I'm recommending it to you guys, because it also can make your Horde Nights super freaking difficult because that thing's a beast. It can do some bad stuff to you. It's a really cool mod. I really, really enjoy it, and I really like the fact that KGB brought it and the Hornet back. So Kane, if you're watching this, man, or if anybody's ever said anything to you about these videos, thank you for what you do. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay, folks, as you can see here, our next mod is called Pit Monks and Better Ramps, and all this mod does, it's super simple, but I really like it, is it gives you longer, better ramps. Now, typically, when you're doing ramps and stuff like that, you come here, let me get rid of that. So when you're doing ramps, you typically only have just this one, the wedge low, and the wedge high. This one actually gives you a narrow ramp tip, which is this bottom one here that you guys see. And then it gives you the low, mid, and high. And it carries all the way up like this. And the reason it's really cool is if you like doing cool different decorations and stuff like that, you like doing a lot of different cool stuff, building these cool bases and things like that, or just having a cool place to park your vehicle inside of a garage, it's a lot smoother transition up. A normal ramp, which we're actually going to build out here just so you guys can kind of see, a normal ramp is not as smooth. If I can get it, there we go. I'll just pick this one up and line it up here. And then we're going to do this. It's not quite as smooth. So when you go up it, typically when you do something like this, you're going to end up damaging the block. Now, not always, and it depends on the vehicles, but with the vanilla vehicles, you typically will damage the block, or you're going to have a harder time getting up it. These little ramps, just easy little decoration mod for building, stuff like that, or, you know, setting out a ramp, however you want to do it. It's a simple, cool mod. That's the reason why I like it so much, is, you know, it lets you build differently. And it does come with wood, cobblestone, and concrete, so you can do the different ones. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Alright folks, as you can see here, our last mod is called Behemoth Upgradable Workstations, and we have all the upgraded stuff to the left, all the non-upgraded stuff to the right. Now when you look at the normal stuff, you don't have a whole lot of output, don't have a whole lot of HP. When you look at the new stuff, you have a whole lot of output / storage, decent amount of HP. Now the reason why I like this mod, one is it's XML, but also the storage. So if we come over here to the chemistry bench, you can store some stuff in the output, but not a whole lot. But with this, you have a big storage area, so you don't necessarily have to have scattered chests or wherever. You can actually store stuff, especially if it's things that you're going to be using to craft frequently, like brass for ammo, things like that, gunpowder, what have you. You can actually store it here in the storage and then just pull it down as you need it. You know, iron and stuff like that you're going to be using constantly. Keep those things where they're going to be more beneficial inside the workbench, because then you're not having to be like, oh crap, which storage thing was it? Was it this one? No. Was it that one? No. Was it this one? No. It's all right there. Same as with the forge. Like typically when I build my bases, I'll have a forge sitting on top of a storage chest. Inside the storage chest is everything that can be smelted. Well, now I can store a lot of that stuff in here because it rarely ever takes up this much space. And I can just pull it, throw it in there when I need it. And it's really good for if you build your normal base is your horde base, if that's how you build. These things can take a little bit more punishment than these. If some stuff happens and, you know, some zombies get in, they start smacking your stuff, chances are these things especially, they're gonna die just because of zombies being stupid dangerous to the workbenches. But these, they're gonna live just a little bit longer. Maybe not a whole lot longer, but a little bit. But that's why I like this mod. So before we leave for the week, I'm gonna mention one more time, there will be another video coming out later this week. I'm not exactly sure when, but later this week there will be another video coming out on a really cool server side overhaul that I really think you guys are gonna dig. So make sure you check that out. And it will be about an hour and a half. So, you know, don't be surprised if it's like, oh man, this video is really long. Yes, it will be. I understand. But thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you had fun. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have fun. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.